Shalom.
Shalom, it's the brother Hadab, y'all, from the GMS Mobile, Alabama camp, coming at you with another lesson. But before I get started, I want to give our glory, praises, and honor unto Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well. Peace and salutation to the hopeful elect, scattered abroad, preaching the truth and sincerity. To you, I want to say Shalom. And the name of this is the proud spirit of Edom, all right, because Esau has plans of ruling forever. And whatsoever the Lord has set up for this man, he goes against it and fights it. All right. Esau has a solution for every situation, but because Esau's pride got him thinking that he is fully in control of the ways of life, because he was, was blessed with the fatness of the earth. All right, on this side of life, so he come up with different laws. Change times, take lands, even a whole heritage from a certain nation of people. His technology is at its heights, and through his blessings, all right, which is the other one is the sword. He rules the earth. All right, he trusted his military wholeheartedly. So this is his plan to take down Leviathan with nuclear missiles and such. All right, and on the other side, on the other note, this is another indication of World War III that's to come, and the nuclear missiles, all right, that are stored up that will be used in due time. But getting into it, this is Acts 2:16. But this is that which was spoken by the prophet Joel, all right, because these precepts I'm about to read, they and Joel as well, all right, and it reads, "And it shall come to pass in the last day, said God, I will pour out of my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your young men shall see visions, and your old men shall dream dreams. And on my servants and on my handmaids I will pour out in those days of my spirit, and they shall prophesy." And today people are coming forth with dreams and end times, all right, heavenly dreams, saying they see the kingdom, all right, dreams of seeing the Lord, all right, seeing certain brothers with spiritual powers, and the Lord's prophets are out prophesying of a great and terrible things to come in the near future. But my point was in verse 17 about the Lord pouring out his spirit upon our flesh, but also the flesh of the fowls in the sky, those of the sea, and the beasts of the field. So in these days, the spirit of the Lord is upon all things, and he is controlling everything and everyone in the direction he wants them to go to bring forth his will. All right. Um, this is verse 19. "And I will show wonders in heaven above and signs in the earth beneath, blood and fire and vapor of smoke." Okay. People are dropping like flies on the large scale, but it gets even more greater than that as we get closer to the end. You see chariots of the Lord in videos, shit, in person. All right. Damn near on a daily basis. All right, you got wildfires destroying towns and stuff. You got what it appears to be a river falling from the clouds. Dangerous storms, mudslides, earthquake, tornadoes, hurricanes, and things. All right, different rivers turned into blood. So we are definitely in the last days. Verse 20: "The sun shall be turned into darkness and the moon into blood before that great and notable day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be saved. That day will be terrible to witness, but only his servants will be saved, because they're the only ones that call on the true names of the Heavenly Father and the Son, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. But the Lord is about to plague the earth with thermonuclear fire. Who shall escape? Only one third of the Lord's chosen people, which is Israel. All right. This is second Esdras 5:8. "There shall be a confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be oft sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and minstrel women shall bring forth monsters." Okay, and we are seeing women bring forth deformed babies, through birth, and the animals in unusual places. Like you got deers and bears in people's homes, eating out the refrigerator, the cabinets. You got lions roaming the streets. You got whales and fish beaching themselves. And you like, what's going on? Well, that's that confusion in many places. We are in those last days, man. Verse 9. And salt water shall be found in the sweet, and our friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into his secret chambers. God. The Lord will have his prophets removed from the streets, all right, the highways and byways, the chief place of concourse. All right, during these evil times, there will be no one standing out to reprove you. You know, if you ain't getting it now, you surely won't get it then. Verse 10, and shall be sought of many and yet not be found, then shall unrighteousness and incontinency be multiplied upon earth. All right. Evils fastly approaching, death after death, turmoil after turmoil, catastrophe after catastrophe. And the Lord's men would not be in the midst of that, you know, telling people that that this is the Lord's will, and breaking down precepts and stuff. Get it while the getting is good. But people don't believe shit stink. They don't believe that the earth will get no worse than the state is in now. And that's not far from the truth, man. Or that's far from the truth, Salaki. You know, it's going to be a time like no other. All right, this evil day will top any evils you can possibly think of. All right, spirits created for vengeance, the death angels, all right, newly created beasts, even Leviathan that's hidden in the waters, which is where Godzilla comes from, but people don't believe that. But as you can see here in this picture, hey, Esau believed that, man. Esau knows, man. All right. This man, Esau Edom, has a military plan to take down Leviathan with nuclear weapons, but it will not phase Leviathan. All right, U.S. military will not defeat this Godzilla, nor the so-called UFOs, and definitely not the Lord. But hey, Esau made plans out of stupidity to do these things. All right. Job chapter 41, starting at 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with a hook, or his tongue with a cord, which thou lettest down? Can thou put an hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Hey, no, he can't. All right, he can't be fished out and captured, man. All right, verse 3. Will he make any supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? No. Will he come? He ain't coming to you all lowly and begging, you know, for anything like humans, or speaking to you all smoothly like Joel Osteen, man. It say, will he make a covenant with thee? Would thou take him for a servant forever? No. All right. You can't make him sign a contract and then turn around and put sanctions on him, and make him a slave forever, man. Verse 5, it say, wilt thou play with him as with a bird, or wilt thou bind him with thy maiden? No. You can't play with him or pet him like he a pet, man. It say, shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? No. You can't put him on auction block, or make any trades with him. You know, all these questions are rhetorical questions, because, hey, the answer to all of them is no, man. Esau can't do shit with this giant creature, not even kill him. Verse 7, canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thy hand upon him. Remember the battle. Do no more. Hey, he will be a pain in the ass for your military, Esau. All right. Behold, the hope of him is in vain. Shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? You got heart attacks. All right. Hearts filling people with fear, just like they are going to do when the Lord make his grand appearance when he returns. All right. Verse 10. None is so fierce that dare stir him up. Who then is able to stand before me? Right, what I just spoke about the Lord's return, man. Hearts failing people with fear, man. And nobody is that dumb to mess with Leviathan, not even to mention the Lord. Because you people don't stand a chance against the Creator, but the proud of Edomites are going to bring them to non-existence, man. Verse 11, who have prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. All right. The Lord doesn't owe man shit. Yahweh Shah was crucified because of man. Therefore, his destruction will be worldwide, man. All right. Verse 12, I will not conceal his part, nor his power, nor his comely portion. The Lord will bring Leviathan to the surface in his full strength, in his full glory. Nothing of Leviathan will be hidden anymore, man. All right. Verse 13, who can discover the face of his garment, or who can come to him with his double bridle? No one. You can't remove his scales to reveal his skin, and you can't steer him in the direction you want him to go. All right, verse 14, who can open the doors of his face? His teeth are terrible round about. And this is a vivid description of Leviathan, Godzilla, if you may. But his teeth are far more terrible than a shark or a T-Rex, man. Verse 15, his scales are his pride, shut up together as with a close seal. One is so near to another that no air can come between them. So Leviathan is heavily armored, and no bunker busting missile will pierce him, man. Not even one scale. It won't even crack a scale, man. They say they are joined one together. They stick together that they cannot be sundered. And the purpose of it having scales is for protection, man. You know, for that creature, man, from harmful things like infections and chemicals, stuff like that. Because Esau fucked up the whole earth, man. All right, they'll detonate different missiles and torpedoes into the sea. You got radiation and all that amongst different sea creatures. All right, you got the oil spill that was out there in the ocean, man. All right. Verse 18 say, by his neesons a light doth shine, and his eyelids are like the eyelids of the morning. Literally glowing, man. Brightness and the stupidity of this man seeing the Lord's word come to pass, he's still going to ignore what the Lord is saying. So you trying to tell your fellow Americans that you are able to blind Leviathan with your phosphorus weapons when Leviathan's eyes are already a bright light. That's exactly the same scenario as saying you are able to blind the Lord with a flashbang, even though his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. That's just ridiculous, man. That's that false hope, man. All right, Esau ain't doing nothing but promoting the false hope, man. That's all he's doing, man. All right, verse 19. Out of his mouth goes burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. Out of his nostrils goes smoke, as out of a seething pot or a cauldron. His breath kindled coals, and a flame goeth out of his mouth. Hey, it's not far fetched, people. All right, the Lord's words are faithful and true, and the Lord is not a man that he should lie. Laser beams, man, out of his mouth, man. The Lord telling you what he created, man. He telling you this, man. All right, verse 22. And his neck remained strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. All right, Leviathan will be torn with you Edomites as a child play with action figures, man. I be clanking them together and pulling off arms and heads and legs and throwing them and all that. Hey, man, you Edomites finna be fucked up, man. And anybody else that's in his path, man. All right, verse 23. It say, the flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves. They cannot be moved. Another description of his scales, all right? It say his heart is as firm as a stone. Yeah, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. God, man, going to that heart mean your mind, man. And when the Lord raise him up, he will be accomplishing the Lord's will, and no missiles will change his mind, man. You know, his purpose will be just like the spirits created for vengeance, man. He coming for straight destruction, man. All right, and nothing else. All right, verse 25. When he raises up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breaking, they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold. The spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. All right, going into Esau's weaponry, man. That Esau planned to use against Leviathan. It say he esteemeth iron as straw and brass as rotten wood. Come on, man, straight melting metals like pine straws and old rotten wood, man. Hey, burning shit up will be a light thing to Leviathan, man. All right. On verse 28, the arrow cannot make him flee. All right. Again, missiles will not make him run, will not make him change his mind, man. Sling stones are turned with him unto stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laughed at the shaking of a spear. Huh. That's like him saying, how dare you throw these little things at me? I can't even feel them. All right, though this man's missiles are not a light thing. Like his missiles are able to destroy anything, but Leviathan and the Lord of hosts. All right, verse 30. Sharp stones are under him. He spread the sharp pointed things upon the mire. All right, and in the NLT version, it reads, his belly is covered with scales as sharp as glass. It plows up the ground as it drags through the mud. Come, man. So Leviathan is completely covered, man, with scales. He is completely armored and cannot be pierced nowhere on the body. And as he walked through, his belly fucking up shit, man. Completely ripping up concrete and houses and trees and things, man. Anything in his path, man, will be destroyed just by his belly alone, man. All right, verse 31. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. Come. Esau deems him to be in the Pacific, but me, I personally think he's in the area that Esau calls the Bermuda Triangle because the waters in that area are far more rough than any area of water in the sea, all right, that I know of. And when you watch that TV show Deadliest Catch about the fishermen, that's where they be at in the Bermuda Triangle, all right, catching all them fish, man, which is located over there in the Atlantic Ocean. All right, it go between from Florida to West Bermuda, all right, to the northeast and Puerto Rico, all right, part of the greater Antilles, all right, and back to the southeast of Florida. You know, that's that triangle, man. But it's been multiple accounts of articles coming out about ships and airplanes mysteriously disappearing in the Bermuda Triangle. All right. In the NLT version, it reads, Leviathan makes the water boil with its commotion. It stirs the depths like a pot of ointment. And going into that, the simple Google definition of commotion, it goes into disturbance, ruckus, uproar, stir, fuss, riot, and even the word splash, man. All right, and these are just some hand picked words but you can liken all these words to the waters over there in the Bermuda Triangle. Okay, it's hectic over there. All right, and I'm just gonna finish these last three verses in NLT version, verse 32. The water glistens in its wake, making the sea to look white. Huh. When the waters move, it splashes, it glistens, and when it splashes, it makes suds, which causes the sea to look white. All right, verse 33. Nothing on earth is its equal. No other creature is so fearless. All right, verse 34. Of all the creatures, it is the proudest. It is the king of beasts. Come, so you Edomites are really desperate to keep your kingdom alive, man. Hey, who will go to war with the Lord and his chariots? All right, when you have seen what the so-called UFOs can do, man, who will fight Leviathan? You clearly understand that he shoots laser beams from his mouth, just like the chariots, man. It's clear that the only way Leviathan can die is if Yahweh Shah kills Leviathan himself. All right? But hey, the problem you Edomites, man, you will not win, man. And you got but a short time and an appointed time, man. All right? But the Lord will throw down your kingdom, man. Malachi 1 and 4. So Lord willing, this lesson will edify to you. I want to say shalom.